Hello, thank you for tuning in. I'm doing Tim's call from the line. We've got Forrest Valkai and Jimmy Snow. This went out on the 3rd of December 2023. I've got a link below. If you don't want my input, please do not watch. Go directly to the show and watch that. Don't watch my call and then complain that my input was not necessary. Please, that is stupid. So go to the link if you don't want me. Okay, yeah, the reason I'm doing this, I don't usually do Jimmy Snow calls, but some good things came out of this one. I've been saying for a long time now that if somebody calls in and they pull academic rank and they say, I've got a PhD in astrophysics, I'm a physics major, or, any of this stuff, I'm an expert in quantum mechanics. If they're going to pull rank, I believe that they should be challenged straight away on that. And for example, if they say they've got a PhD, they've got to supply the institution they studied at, the PhD title, where it can be referenced, etc. They've got to provide some credentials and their name as well. Otherwise, it's meaningless because anybody could come on and claim to be an expert in anything. Now, we've seen that being an expert does not make you right when it comes to the question of the existence of God. So it's kind of irrelevant. But nevertheless, if somebody's going to claim to be an authority in something, then and they're going to use a scientific argument, then I believe that they should be required to provide their credentials, their title, whatever. Now, I know that, for example, you don't have to have a PhD in a particular topic to be an expert in it. I acknowledge that. And if they haven't got a PhD or a high level qualification in that topic, then what is evidence of their expertise? What have they done? Yeah, that's fine. I'm not somebody who thinks that you've got to have had a PhD in something to be an expert in it. But if you're going to claim to be an expert, then you would have something else that you've done, published some papers, or participated in conferences. You can be referenced somewhere. So I'm all for providing evidence if you're going to start claiming to be an authority in something. But the hosts never ask. Finally, in this show, they've kind of put that to rights. So let's go ahead and listen to Tim, find out what he's got to say, and have a great big laugh at the end of it, because he turns out to be as big a jackass as anybody else I've ever seen on this program.
In Michigan, you're on the line with Jimmy and I almost said Matt. Jimmy and Vat. You're on the line with Jimmy and Forrest.
What's going on?
Hello, hello.
What's going on? Oh, great. This one really sounds like it's going to be a good call.
It says here that you think atheists, but you apparently are an atheist, are missing something, which is solar energy.
I'm not an atheist.
Oh, see, that's
that's what I was listed as.
All right, so I'm going to fix this here. So you are a theist then?
No, I'm not a theist.
Okay. Well,
great. So he's not an atheist. He's not a theist. Well, I wonder what he could be.
Well, there's only the two choices.
This is a binary situation here.
What is the thing you think you are, if not an atheist or a theist?
Oh, I know I'm a scientist.
Oh, wow. So he's a scientist. Well, I'd love to hear what kind of scientist he is.
Okay, right. So scientist is not the answer to the question. Tim, do you believe a God exists?
No.
Okay, so you are an atheist.
Then you're an atheist, yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, Tim, now that we've gotten past that.
I'm an atheist.
Yes, you are.
He doesn't believe that God exists, and he says he's not an atheist.
Definition of the word, Tim.
Hypothetical if.
No, it isn't. Atheist means you do not hold. Tim, Tim, atheism is simply the position. It is atheism. Theism is you believe in God. Any negation of that.
You know, when people start nitpicking over labels, atheist, agnostic, theist, and they start messing around with me like that, I usually say, forget the labels. Do you believe in any God or anything that would pass for a God? Let's take it from there. Forget the labels and let's go from that point.
You don't believe whatever is an atheist.
Okay, I'm only asking the question because I heard the hypothetical on the line.
What was the hypothetical?
Talking to a theist and saying, well, if there is a God or if there was a God, the if part.
If has nothing to do with atheism.
That was just asking a question, Tim.
Because what I heard.
Atheists do pose hypotheticals, for sure. It's fine.
But theists do as well. Like
Right.
a theist could very easily say, if there isn't a God, or if I'm wrong and there's a different God. Like it's just asking questions, man. Everybody's allowed to ask questions. It's cool. You either believe a thing or you don't. That's all we're saying.
That is great. Yes, but what I'm saying, as a scientist, the answer is no. There is no if. So there's no confusion.
The answer to what is no.
Okay.
Hang on. Tim, the answer to what is no, if you're a scientist?
There is no God.
Yeah, well, that's not the position of any aspect or any branch of science that I know of.
You believe that
Okay.
science,
Even that's the hypothetical.
you believe that that is a scientific claim, that there is no God. And what experiments did we do to verify that?
Writing an allegory and writing mythology, fiction.
I'm
No
gonna-
hypothetical.
Tim,
We
I'm going to
just
try again. First of all, you keep
Yeah, the guy is coming across as completely incoherent. Yeah, he claims to be a scientist. So when Jimmy asked him, what have we done to verify that there's no God, or what has science done? He's saying, well, there's writing, there's technology, there are hypotheticals. It's none of it really makes any sense. It's not answering the question.
hypothetical as though science doesn't like hypotheses. I don't know if you've heard, but they're sort of the starting point of everything. But Tim, what experiments was ever done to confirm the claim there is no God? Was the question I asked you. You said something about writing allegories. Those aren't experiments.
Oh, the experiment is when the human reads the allegory. The human knows what nonfiction is. The allegory and the mythology, fiction. Experiment done.
Tim,
It's
what
not
do you
one of
believe a
those things-
scientist is?
A scientist is humans observing nature.
A scientist is a human observing nature. No?
That's
I don't
what science.
hate
Science.
I don't
Yeah,
hate
it's
that
a
definition.
scientist would be a person who is doing science.
The definition is somebody who has extensive knowledge in or is learning science. Someone who is studying or who has extensive knowledge in science.
Is frankly just incorrect. Tim, what field of science are you in?
Well done, Jimmy. 10 out of 10. I wish you'd asked that 5 minutes ago.
There's multiple. You want me to go down the list?
I want to know which
Talk
one
about
you
field.
are qualified.
Well, there's another red flag, because I mean, usually with science, it's such a vast field that if you're an expert, you will tend to have a speciality.
What do you
Astronomy.
do?
I'll
Okay.
start with astronomy first
All right.
and astrophysics.
Okay, so you are an astrophysicist. Now, is this you have labeled yourself as such, or you have accolades to claim such a thing?
Both.
Wild.
So yeah, both. So he labels himself an astrophysicist. Plus, he's got accolades. All right, we're going to get right to the whole point. We're going to go forward in the call to where he actually describes what these accolades are. Okay, yeah, we're getting to the core. We're getting to the really funny part. A couple of disclaimers, because obviously I made the rest of the video earlier in the day, and I realized that people listen to what I say and they say, oh, Stuart, that's wrong, blah, blah, blah. First of all, I acknowledge that just because you've got a PhD in a science subject does not necessarily mean that you're a scientist. Yeah, I understand that. Okay, I understand that straight away. Okay. The other thing is that Tim said that his proof that there is no God is essentially that it's obviously mythology and allegory, and that when people are reading it, they should understand that. Yeah, and that's me. I understand when I'm reading the Bible, when I'm reading the Quran, that it's like mythology. I see it that the same as Roman and classical Greek mythology. Yeah, I understand that, and consequently, I'm an atheist, and I don't see any evidence to support those like mythological claims, or those claims which to me look like mythology. But the fact is, there are people out there who think it's real, and they're the people that we're addressing. So at the end of the day, they're still claims. Greek mythology, you could take those as claims as well. So it's mythology, but still there are people who will accept those claims as true. And our job as atheists or skeptics is to point out that there is insufficient evidence to support those claims. So no, it's not evidence that there is no God, that it obviously looks to us as skeptics like mythology. Yeah. All right. So let's go on then and listen to find out what his accolades are.
Tim, my last question for you is.
Oh yeah, you know I got credentials. You heard that?
Yeah. Tim, what
He's got credentials. I can't wait.
are your credentials? Tell me about those. Where did you get? You said you're an astro. Hang on, Tim. You said you're an astro. Hang on.
Now, this is a really critical part of the call, because I mean, he could actually go away and we'll never find out what the credentials are. Thank goodness that doesn't happen. We're going to find out.
Jesus Christ, are you capable of letting a person finish a question without interrupting? Tim, what are your credentials? You said you're an astrophysicist. What are your astrophysicist accolades?
I have degrees.
What kind of degrees?
What degrees did you earn?
Listen, I'm not giving out personal
Yeah. Tim,
yeah, you see, he's not giving out personal information. There's no point in coming onto these shows and claiming that you're an expert, that you've got degrees in astrophysics, etc., because it's completely meaningless until you can support that claim.
You fucking don't. You're just a liar. Because
I just want to know what your degrees are.
I'll give you my highest.
All right, what's your
accolade?
What's your highest
Sure.
accolade? Go ahead.
Sure.
United States Marine Corps veteran.
Yeah. Okay.
United States Marine Corps. Oh, I was expecting Harvard University or MIT.
So dog shit. All right, bye.
So that's not a degree.
That's
not a degree.
Yeah.
United States
I've
Marine
met people
Corps.
like, well, in the Navy, I was basically a nuclear physicist. I've met that asshole before. And
Well, anyway, thank you, Jimmy, for finally asking the right question. But please, in future, to save us all this trouble, ask at the beginning, not at the end. Okay. Mind you, we did get a good laugh, didn't we? Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back again soon with another video. Bye for now.